Hello, it's Karen Locke Culp of the We Turned Out Okay podcast and WeTurnedOutOK.com here with this week's magic words for parents. If you want extra magic words for parents, by the way, like the one I just did in June on how to discipline your child in public, go to patreon.com/WeTurnedOutOK. And for right now, I am talking about how to handle it, what to say when your child is not paying attention to you. When you see their attention drifting away as you're trying to get them to do something or understand something, there are lots of different reasons why this can be an issue. I'm sure you can think of many situations yourself in which you just wish your kid would pay attention to you. And you know they're not, right? You know that the eyes have glazed over and that just they're like, oh, you know, if they're still standing in front of you, they are definitely not hearing you. And I guess, first of all, what to not say is a whole bunch of words. So I often think of that, if you remember that Far Side cartoon, which was, the specific one I'm thinking of is, the caption is like, what you say. It's a guy talking to his dog. And so the caption, what you say on that side is the guy is saying, hey, Spot, it's so good to see you. I love you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. Are you hungry, Spot? Like, do you want some food, Spot? And then on the other side, you got what they hear. And what they're hearing is blah, 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 Spot, blah, 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 Spot, blah, 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 Spot. Like, they're not hearing, and our kids just, they don't listen, especially if we are adopting a certain tone. They will not hear us at all, right? And we don't want that. So what I learned to do, this is like one of my absolute favorite, it's an elementary hack. It's like so useful for parents of young children. I learned it as a teacher because when you've got to manage like 10 kids, or I mean more if you get into the higher grades. I was a preschool teacher, but this also worked really super well for, oh my gosh, first graders, second graders, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. But I guess there's no but really, especially if you can see their attention drifting away and you're like, oh, I got to get this kid back. So here is this week's magic words. What I say is, I will wait until you're looking directly at me. So the magic words, the magic phrase is, I will wait, ... And sometimes, in fact, that is all I have to say now is, you know what, I'm going to wait. And then I actually do wait because they're not expecting that. It kind of jars them out of what they were thinking about. So instead of saying a whole bunch of words that they're not hearing, instead of doing that, try saying, I'm going to wait. And you can say it a lot of times. I would say, I'm going to wait until your legs are crisscross applesauce. So, of course, if you're sitting in a circle and you're waiting for a bunch of kids to kind of get it together, that is what I would say. Or you could say, I'm going to wait until your eyes are on mine so I know that you hear me. And then the key, though, is to actually wait. Like if you give it 1/2 of a second and then you're back off talking again, they're not going to hear you. And sometimes I will even go so far as to say, like if I'm waiting, if I've waited and now I'm talking again and you can see their attention drift away, I might say something like, I'm going to wait again, or are you hearing me now? Like, make sure that there's some kind of clarification on their part that they're hearing you. And if you do this, it gets their attention. It brings their attention back to you so that you can communicate what you have to communicate. And then, of course, the trick is to communicate it in such a way that they hear it. But perhaps that's one for another day, because if we talk about the blah, 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 Spot, blah, 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 you know, when you're thinking about that old Far Side cartoon about what they hear versus what we say, using a whole bunch of words, you know, isn't really gonna work. You have to use a more concentrated, you have to say something that's more concentrated. But what we're doing today is we are just getting their attention. So once again, when you feel their attention drifting away, you can say, I'm gonna wait, and then you actually do wait. And if you would like, you can add a phrase. You can add, like, I'm gonna wait until I see your eyes on mine. I'm going to wait until you're quiet. I'm going to wait ... You can do it that way too. So that's it for today's magic words. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And once again, if you need some extra magic words for parents, I have got some great tools at patreon.com/WeTurnedOutOK. June's was all about how to discipline, what to say when you need to discipline your child in public. And you can get that just by becoming a Patreon patron of We Turned Out Okay. So that's patreon.com/WeTurnedOutOK. And I will, I'll see you next week for next week's. Oh, and I did want to say too, I really apologize because if you are on my email, if you're in my email group, what I did was I sent out next week's today. So everybody thought they were going to get one about stopping complaining when you have kids and you can't get them to stop complaining. So that is, that's coming up next week, and I hope this week is as helpful, and then you know that next week's will be helpful too. All right, cheers. I will talk to you soon. Bye.